Okay, so I know I did a history of Lohan video at the beginning of the course, and I had some notes and talked about where it came from. Now, this video is also about the history, but this is my interpretation from my research. Okay, this isn't just names on a list. From my research, this is probably where our system comes from. Okay, and I've traced this up through my teacher and through his teacher as best I can and such. But in the beginning, Gautama Buddha, we're going to go all the way back to there. Okay, 2,500 years ago. Sid gets born, becomes enlightened, teaches a lot of people, dies around 80 years old. His enlightenment process, afterwards, he starts teaching people that they should maybe take a look at how he thinks because he's really happy. And they want to know why he's happy, so he tells them, well, I mean, all I did was I did this and this and this, and what do you think if you tried? That's essentially what Buddhism's like, in a nutshell. That's why they engage in debates and things, because if it's not solid, then it can't be real, right? So there's a lot of debates in Buddhism about different subjects. Anyway, so Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, teaches in India. Buddhism kind of becomes a huge religion in India alongside Hinduism. And then people from Tibet end up going to India to learn Buddhism, and they end up bringing it back to Tibet. And people from India end up spreading Buddhism throughout the East, including into China. So here's where we get that, right? So now there's Buddhism in China. They say the first person, probably-ish, was Bodhidharma, who went to the Shaolin Temple to spread this Buddhism. Now, if this Buddhism, then this is my Sifu's, what he told me. So in the Shaolin Temple, this Shaolin 18 Lohan gets created as a part of Buddhist training, or is rather being passed down as a part of Buddhist training. And very shortly thereafter, in history, the Shaolin Temple gets burned down, right? Gets attacked. Few people survive. What Shifu told me was that somebody who knew this set ended up in Tibet. May have been a group, I don't know. And they ended up at a Navakaletsavara temple, the goddess Guan Yin in China, the goddess of compassion. And of course, then they're practicing. They do their thing. And they're monks, they're lamas, which basically means they're in a PhD program of spirituality. That's really what it means, is you're learning theology and things like that. Smart people. So these people pass this down for generations since the Shaolin Temple burning. And then a Tibetan Lama travels to southern China, where my teacher meets him. He's sick, right? My teacher's a doctor, so he takes him in, heals him up. And he said that when the monk was better, when the Lama was better, he offered him some money. He said, I have traveling money, let me pay you for services. Shifu Chen's Buddhist, so he refused, said it's good karma. And the monk decided to stay in Guangzhou. So Shifu Chen followed him for the rest of his life. Then he moves to Canada to follow his daughters, and I meet him, right? Okay. So here's my thinking from tracing it all. Buddhism starts with a very deep, it has a deep base. It's not like Buddha was on the verge of something new and then a bunch of people, went past him. It's more like he is considered borderline omniscient, and everybody else is trying to understand what he knew. So for instance, these teachings of Buddha, they all get disseminated into different schools. 18 Lohan, of the 18 Lohan Palm, actually are 18 of his students, of the Buddha's students. And then they taught for the rest of their lives, trying to help other people, right? They were all bodhisattvas. A bodhisattva is somebody who has taken a vow to basically try to be compassionate and kind, to free the suffering of everyone, to try to just help stop suffering from happening around them and within them. So one of the big parts of advanced Buddhist meditation training, however, is what's known as Tantric Yoga. And Tantric Yoga is a meditative thing. Everybody knows about, what is it called? Tantric sex. This is not that. Tantric Yoga, the Tantric Yogas are different types of meditations where you're doing visualizations. They're considered the more advanced only because they're actually dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You can drive yourself crazy. So what's interesting in there is if you look at the tantric yoga practices and you look at our Lohan palm, you can see the Tibetan influence in them. We basically do the fire belly. It's called, or dumo, right? Fire breathing. And I've researched it when I was in Nepal, and what I was taught by Shifu Chen's the same stuff. So there's definitely that heavy, heavy Tibetan influence. So if I were to really guess, I think what we do is a Tibetan yoga that went to China, ran into martial arts, kind of got Chineseified, or rather, right, this, and then it goes back into Tibet and it gets hidden, right, because it was probably in India first, went to Bodhidharma, goes to Tibet. Tibet is unchanging forever, until the 50s, basically. Comes out, Shifu Chen learns it, and all of the last teachings are Buddhist. They're all yogic, tantric teachings. So I'm pretty sure this is a tantric Buddhism system of Qigong that also happened to pick up martial arts ability, likely because of its Shaolin origins, if that makes any sense.